Hey guys, my name's Ben Howard. We're out here at Pipeline to play our second practice round, getting ready for the Hub City Amateur Championships. If you haven't seen the first practice round, you can check that out in one of the corners with the eye icon. But spoilers for that round, I end up shooting 2 over, which isn't great going into this course. I would say out of the 3 courses, this is the toughest course because not only do you need a pretty good amount of distance, but this is a really tight wooded course where scoring is just really difficult and requires just perfect shots off the tee. While scoring out here is pretty difficult, getting par on a lot of holes isn't insanely difficult. It's very doable. So if I play really well, I definitely think I could shoot close to under par. I'm definitely not expecting par at all, but my personal best out here is 5 over, and I do think I could shoot better than that. So anything better than 5 over, I'm going to be extremely happy with. And honestly, as long as I'm in the single digits over par, I'm going to be fairly happy. But speaking of shooting under par out here, I do have a series that I need to get back to, which is trying to shoot under par out here. I said I was going to do my first attempt this month, but I think what I'm going to do is just kind of count this as my warm-up round or my round to get acquainted with the course again. Kind of get to kill 2 birds with 1 stone in this video, which will be nice. But if you do want to see me try and shoot under par out here, I'll try and have that video out at the end of next month. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. So let's go and get in the round and see how we do. All right, guys, for hole 1. I did forget to mention we are playing blue tees to red baskets. So that makes this one a par 4 at 504 feet. Baskets down this way, tucked off to the right, way uphill. So off the tee, we're trying to get past this group of trees. You can see about, was that 250 feet down the fairway. Once we get past them, we want to land in this open area where we'll have probably like a 100-foot approach shot in the green, but it's so uphill it makes the shot way more difficult than it needs to be. I've seen a lot of people go forehand down the middle because you do want to end up off the right side if you can, but I prefer to go down the middle with like a flippy fairway driver. I'm going to go with my neutral Enoch, just trying to throw it flat, get it to turn a little bit, and hopefully fade a little bit near the end. Ooh, early release that, but okay, kicks left. Didn't really get the turn either. I'll go with a little bit flippier Enoch. A little too flippy, but that might cut roll. I didn't see it. Hopefully we'll be able to find that. Last one, I'm going to go with my stable yellow arc. This should turn a little bit, but have a more stable finish. Oh, yeah. That might be too far. Okay, I'd be curious to see where that ended up. All right, so this is where my first Enoch ended up. And this is just going to be a pitch out into the middle for par. I was looking at the other ones. I couldn't see where the yellow one ended up, but it looks like it's up here on the left, which is just going to be another spot where I'm going to have to just pitch out, play for par. So I'll probably end up going with that shot off the tee, but I kind of disappointed. I was hoping it was going to be down there for I to be able to play for birdie. But, hold that, please. Threw it 2 nose up. I'm going to have to throw a forehand from there. That's not great. Okay, so from here, I thought I could throw a forehand, but I don't think I could get a forehand all the way up there. The basket's up here behind this tree, so the shape of a forehand makes the most sense, but ain't no way I'm going to be able to throw a forehand that high and not have it just be super nose up and stall out on me. I'm going to go with my stable Gyra. Just hit it hard on a bunch of anhyzer and give it a ton of height. Oh, come on, get through. Nope. Oh, dang it. Go in. Ooh. Whew. Okay, I'll take a bogey on this hole. I'd say this is one of the like 4 holes that I'm okay with taking a bogey on. Be this one, 17, 18, and 9. I think it's the other one. There's probably another one I'm forgetting about, but all that to say, I'm fine with a bogey. All right, guys, for hole 12, go to par 3, 390 feet. Off the tee, we're trying to hit this gap with the backhand with the overstable distance driver, or at least I am. There's probably some guys in the field that are throwing fairway driver mid at this hole, but once you get through that gap, you want something that's going to push forward and fade at the same time, and hopefully stick into the side of this hill, because the green is sloped from right to left. So if you hit on the wrong angle, you could skip up and roll all the way back down to like hole one's basket. But as long as I throw something through this gap, I'm going to be fine with that, because I really can't reach this hole consistently unless I were to go with something that's kind of flippy, get to flip up and ride straight for a little while. But I'm going to go with my less stable, overstable Rapture, and then I'll try something else to be a little bit more aggressive, see how that works out for me. That's inside, not high enough. I didn't skip either. I might still be outside the gap. Which actually probably won't be that bad. Okay, so it turns out the Rapture actually got over the hill, got me down here to where I've got like probably like a 50, 55-foot putt. Just way better than I expected. There we go. All right, guys, for hole 3, got a par 3, 305 feet. The basket is straight ahead, but don't let that distance fool you. This thing plays right at probably 400 feet because of how uphill it is, especially right off the tee. The white tee pad is probably like right at head level with me, or it might be at level with y'all. So I definitely need to go with something faster and more understable, and I think I need to. So I'm going to go with the slingshot, just try and throw it flat, straight at the basket. As long as I get out of the open, I should have a fairly easy up and down for par. Oh, yeah. I think that's short. Okay. That's like a circle 2 putt. Let's make this. Nope, left. Ah, man. There it is. Oh, never mind. All right, guys, for hole 4, we got a par 3, 507 feet. Basket's down here, tucked slightly to the left. This time we're going so far downhill that you can't trust the distance on the tee sign. Plays closer to like 400 feet, maybe just a little over that. The fairway's just big enough to fit a full flex shot distance driver, so I'm going to go with my slingshot on this one. The mistake you want to make is turning the disc over too much, finishing off to the right. Because most of the time, if you do that, you're going to be closer to the basket, and the right side's not quite as bad as the left side. That's the turn. Yeah, that should be really good. It'll give me like a 80-ish foot approach shot. Pulled that a little bit, but okay, that's fine. That's like a 15-footer. Oh my gosh, these gnats are so bad. Oh. Oh, I don't know if y'all can hear them or not on the mic, but like there has to be like at least 10 swarming around me. There we go. All right, guys, for hole 5, we got a par 3, 199 feet. Basket straight ahead. Just play a little uphill, so it plays a little bit farther than 200 feet, but either way, I'm just going to throw a straight putter straight at the basket. I'm kind of tempted to go with my baseline covenant because it will turn a little bit for me, but I'm just going to try and throw this straight into the ground right between these two trees, just short of the basket. As long as I hit there, I kind of scoot up, and that should give me like some kind of putt at the basket. But I got my 2 glow covenants. Just going to try and do that. Hit that spot on the ground, get to scoot up. Hold that. Get around it. Get around it. Nope. Okay. That's still like a circle 2 putt. That would turn. That would be really good. Oh, never mind. It faded. Nice part. Get there. Oh, close. All right, guys, roll 6. Got a par 3, 328 feet. You see the basket straight ahead. The biggest gap is one slightly to the left of the basket. So I'm going to go with my yellow Oasis arc. Try and throw it through that gap. Let it get over a little bit Anheuser, drift to the right, and hopefully kind of flatten out and push straight near the end. This hole has become a lot easier. This used to be a hole where you could take a 4 or 5 fairly easily, but now I should take a 3 on this one pretty much every time, unless I hit something super early. But let's go ahead and hit the gap and get our first birdie of the round. Keep drifting. Oh, I didn't even see that branch. Okay, well, that's good to know. Got to throw that a little bit lower. Yeah, I didn't know this was here, but this tree hanging out, not only do you have these branches hanging straight down, but this thing pretty much blocks the gap. So you have to decide whether to go underneath it or over top of it. And it seems like I'm going to have to go with something a little bit faster and try and go underneath it. Oh, I thought I drilled that tree. All right, guys, for hole 7, we got a par 3, 300 feet. Basket's down this way, tucked off to the right, and you pretty much can only throw a forehand on this hole. If you're playing for a par, I guess you could just go like putter straight down the middle. But it makes more sense to go with the forehand, even if you're somebody like me who doesn't have a great forehand, because you'd rather be off to the right side than the left most of the time. Left side, you're going to have to throw like a weird, touchy forehand of the green. But if you're on the right side, a lot of times you can do more of like a jump putt up, something like that. So my first shot, I'm going to try the Shepherd on a forehand. Try and just focus on really hitting it flat, getting the nose down. This might be a little too much disc because the ground does slip away, as you can kind of tell. But this is the disc I've been working on with forehands. So we'll give it a shot, and then I might try my less stable Gloasis Rapture. That didn't hit that tree. That was pretty nice. I didn't really feel like I got a ton of power into it, but I got plenty of spin on that thing. Dang, still wasn't enough. But that's fine. See, that's why I like the forehand, because I didn't do what I wanted to do, but I'm going to be way down there and have a manageable up and down for par. Oh, I hardly released it. Go. Just go. Oh, it's rolling. Oh, dang. Okay. That'll be easy up and down. Okay, I actually got closer than I was thinking, so I'm tempted to run this, honestly, but I'm pretty sure those trees on the right are going to be in the way if I do try and run this, so we'll still lay it up. That wasn't a good layup. Oh, okay. That'll work. Nope. There we go. All right, guys, for hole 8, we got a par 3, 356 feet. Basket's down this way. Technically tucked off to the left, but it's also tucked off to the right. Because as you can see, the fairway bends off to the left. It goes down that way. But then the basket's tucked off to the right side of that fairway. So if you wanted to park it, the only way to do it would be with like a flex forehand or some kind of turnover forehand. But I don't have that in the tank, so I'm just going to go with a fairway driver. It'll flip up a little bit on some hyzer at the trees on the right side of the fairway. Try and get the flip up, ride left, just push down the fairway as far as I can, and hopefully give myself easy up and down for par, or maybe even like a circle 2 look at birdie. We'll try my yellow NT arc, because if anything, I'd rather this disc not flip up at all than it flip up too much and go right, because the right side is much worse than the left side. So go something a little bit more stable, but something that will flip. That's perfect. I thought I might need to throw like 2 or 3 drives at this, but that's exactly what I want. Okay, so it ended up a little bit farther left than I would have liked, but I mean, we're all the way down here to where I'm probably technically in like circle 2, maybe like a 70-foot, 80-foot approach shot. Only annoying thing is a bunch of trees between us and the basket, so I have to get a little tricky with it, but I think I got a little forehand turnover right here. Yep, there we go. Sit right there. Okay. Whew. Whew. It's a little high. Just a little bit. All right, guys, for hole 9, got a par 4, 512 feet. This is one of those holes I told you about on a hole 1 that I don't mind taking a bogey on because this thing is insanely hard. Off the tee, you've got to get through this gap, have something that'll either push just dead straight or finish off to the right, which is just really difficult, especially for somebody like me who doesn't have a good forehand, because that gap's probably, what, like 120, 130 feet off the tee. So I pretty much have to throw like a hyzer flip to turn over to throw something through that gap that'll move to the right. And with it going uphill, it makes that shot even more difficult because you got to throw something flippier than I think I need to. But if you get far enough off the tee, you'll end up on the second shelf, which is where you'll have to go through just a really tight tunnel of trees and get all the way down to the basket. The tee shot's definitely the more difficult shot of the two. So I really need to dial this tee shot in. I'm going to go with one of my more understable, either fairway driver or distance drivers. I like the ambush here because this is something I could definitely throw a ton of hyzer, get it to flip over and turn. It's just going to be harder to control than a fairway driver, but this fairway driver won't flip up and turn over going this far uphill. So I guess I'll go with the fairway driver first and then we'll try the ambush. Just need to hit this on like a baby hyzer. And I will go aim in the middle of the gap. I don't want to aim off the gap at all. Ooh, got lucky. Hopefully that pushed far enough. If you end up too far right without getting enough distance, you'll be kind of pinched off. But that should be okay. If I gave it more height, that would have been smoked. But okay, never mind. I'm definitely going with the ambush because where the ambush landed is like the perfect drive because I'm looking straight down that fairway. I don't have to worry about going uphill. Only thing I got to worry about is the fact I'm going to have some rough footing, but that's going to be so nice during the tournament. As you can see here from the Enoch, I've got to go with like really aggressive like turnover shot, either like some kind of force over or a flat to turnover shot. And it's just going to be so difficult to do. But that's what we got. So I'm going to go with the Shepherd, try and hit it on some Anheuser. See if this will come out near the end. If I throw this really well, I can give myself a super easy up and down for par, but even if we mess this up, I'll still have a chance for a bogey. I didn't turn it at all. Oh, that was such a great kick. Oh, I think I threw that on a little bit of hyzer, if anything, instead of trying to rip that over on like almost a roller angle. Man, I couldn't have thrown a better layup if I tried. This is perfect. I'll definitely need to remember I don't need to throw a distance driver, a control driver from there. I can throw like an Enoch and probably get down here to like 100 feet from the basket. There's no reason to throw at 11 speed on that shot, but shoot, let's go and throw this in. Close enough. Whew, get in there. Nice. All right, guys, for hole 10, we've got a par 3, 350 feet. Basket's down here, tucked slightly off to the left. So I'm going to go with my yellow NT arc. Try and either throw it flat or just like a baby hyzer. You'd like stand up. If it drifts to the right, that's fine. I just need that overstable finish at the end because pretty much all the danger in this hole is up to the right. And even if I do finish off to the left, you can kick up and roll and end up on the right side. So I'd rather throw something hard, have it land soft, than throw something a little bit smoother, but have it come into the green fast and roll. Let's see. I might need to throw another one though, because I don't remember if this arc is stable enough for the shot I want. Let's see. Or I can go around, I guess. I did not mean to do that. That's short, but that's not bad at all. That'll be like a circle's edge putt. Not leaving until I hit the gap. What am I doing? There we go. That's actually really good. Go in the basket. Ooh, I'm gonna have to see where that ended up because that was pretty nice. Yes, there we go. Nice. That result makes me really want to throw that line during the tournament, but there's no way. I'll stick to this one because clearly I can get the distance with it. It does have the shot shape I need, and shoot, if I do yank it, throw it way off to the right, it'll still end up down here somehow. All right, guys, for hole 11, got a par 4, 453 feet. Basket's down this way, tucked slightly off to the left, but off the tee, we just really need to throw as straight a shot as you possibly can throw down this wooded fairway. Hardest part about this too is the fact that it's going downhill the whole time. So if you do throw something that like either like flips up to flat and pushes straight, or throw something flat, whatever it's going to do at the end of the flight is going to be really exaggerated. So I'm going to go with something flat that I know will turn a little bit, but have an overstable finish because I'd rather be off to the left than the right. But the main thing is really just getting as much distance off the tee as you can. So I'm going to go with yellow NT arc. Try and throw it at the trees just on the left side of the fairway, get it to bend off of them, and then push straight, finish off to the left. That's on hyzer. Okay, we're in the fairway though. I can work with that. What else do I want? I'll try one more. We'll go with the yellow Oasis arc this time. This one I can throw on a little bit of hyzer like I did with that one, but this one will stand up and turn like you saw in the last hole. Oh, it's so close. That's nice to know. I've got options. I'm feeling more comfortable throwing on hyzer and getting a little bit more distance because I should get a little bit more distance out of something like that. That'll hyzer flip to flat and push compared to the NT arc where I'm just throwing it flat and getting like a little bit of S curve. Nope. Oh boy. Dang it. That was the tree I needed to beat. This is pretty unfortunate because this is one of the holes I really count on being a birdie hole. But when you hit something that early off the tee, you're going to be scrambling, and I didn't do a very good job of scrambling. Really should have taken my mess and laid up for par back there, but now I got to get up and down for my bogey. I'm going to go with the same putter I just threw. Throw on a touch of Anheuser. Drag back to the right. Try not to throw it too hard. A little nose up. Okay, that's like a edge of circle putt maybe. We'll see. Get there. Oh, what? Man. All right, guys, for hole 12, got a par 3, 391 feet. Basket's down here tucked off to the right. Biggest thing to pay attention to is there's OB long of the basket, probably like 5 feet past it. It's tempting to go for like a backhand turnover flex shot that'll get you down there, but I've always liked just going with a forehand giving it height and time to just push forward, fade off to the right, and give myself easy up and down for par. Just got to make sure I get this nose down. If I get it nose up at all, it's going to stall and go into the trees on the right, which is like the last place I want to be. Like that. Yeah, that's far enough to the right where I'll have a pretty easy up and down. I won't have any trees in my way, anything like that. Probably like a under 100-foot approach shot. I had to say something about not having a tree in the way. Of course, we got the biggest tree in the entire fairway in the way, but I am far enough down here to where I can just jump putt around it. Looks like we got a little bit of a headwind, so be careful, but should be as easy as it gets. Yep. Ooh. All right, guys, for hole 13, we got a par 3, 328 feet. Basket's down here tucked off to the left. Biggest thing to pay attention to is these stakes mark the OB on the left side. Obviously, once you get down to the basket, you want to get off to the left, but early left is jail to begin with, and with it being OB, just makes it worse. But I'm going to go with this year's Tour Series Enoch. Try and throw it straight at this tree in the middle of the fairway. Hopefully bend off to the right side of it, and then have this disc finish back to the left. Push, push, push. Ooh. Okay, I think that just got far enough to where it's in bounds. Okay, so this is where the Tour Series Enoch got us to. Probably, yeah, right, like 35 feet, just outside of Circle 1. Annoying putt, but not bad at all. I'll take it. Nope, too much. Ow. Something I was thinking about as I was walking down, I probably should have thrown an arc, seeing how that ended up. Because the Enochs, for me, 300 or like right at 300 is typically the max range for me. So I probably should have stepped up to an arc once I saw how short that Enoch was. But if that's how that shot ends up, I don't mind it. But hopefully I can get a second practice round in out here and test that out. All right, guys, for hole 14, we got a par 3, 315 feet. Once again, T-Sign is a liar. This hole plays like probably over 400 feet, honestly, because we're going up and to the right. And if anybody ever figures out how to actually birdie this hole, please let me know, because I've never figured it out. The only way I've ever gotten even close is by going left side of this tree with a super flippy wraith, and that got me to like maybe 100 feet. So we're just gonna play this one for par. I'm gonna go forehand through this gap on the left, try and get it as high as I can, give it time to get to the right, hopefully stick in the fairway, give me an easy up and down for par, even though being in the middle of the fairway doesn't guarantee anything on the second shot, but see what we can do. A little bit lower than I meant to throw it. As long as that sits, that'd be great. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, okay, so this is one of the better drives I've ever thrown on this hole. I mean, it's still not a guaranteed up and down, but got a pretty open gap right here. I'm gonna go with the pillar, just throw it flat through the gap and let this thing do its thing. A little too high, but that's still like a 15-footer. Yeah. Hopefully this hole feels this easy during the tournament. Yep. Ooh, tried to spit back out at me. All right, guys, for hole 15, got a par 3, 386 feet. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but it is directly ahead down this really tight fairway. Only way to really get down there is just throw your straightest disc in your bag. Doesn't really matter the speed or anything like that because we're going so far downhill. I'm going to go with my Glowasis Gyra. Just try and throw it just straight at the basket and see what happens. Oh, that was such a bad kick. Granted, that was a really bad shot as well, but that sucked. I'm gonna throw one more. Ooh, I got it to flip just right. Oh man, that's so pretty. I didn't want to throw that one because I don't like having to hit this line on that much hyzer, but all my hyzer shots have been great today, especially my hyzer flips. So I might just need to do that during the tournament because it's working. All right, so unfortunately, I'm so far in the woods, there's no way for me to get a shot of myself and the fairway. So I got y'all set up as a catch cam. Hopefully, you'll see a disc come flying in just a minute. Oh, this is gonna suck. I had to land in the like 5 foot by 5 foot area, the entire fairway that has briars in it. Nope, not high enough. Nice. All right, guys, for hole 16, we got a par 3, 258 feet. Basket is straight ahead, going way uphill. So, once again, we got to throw something way faster than we think we need to. But you do want this to finish a little off to the left. So, I'm going to go with my more stable Enoch, try and throw it flat. Just barely get it over the top of the hill, or maybe a foot or two over the top. Hopefully, get to finish a little off to the left. I just barely released the crap out of it. Oh, great kick, though. That's so short. Oh, that stump didn't help, but that's still like a 20-footer. No. Starting to run out of steam, as y'all can probably tell. Oh, man. All right, guys, for hole 17, we got a par 4, 615 feet. Whew, this is a doozy. If you'll remember, like I talked about the first hole or the 9th hole, these next 2 holes are some of the more difficult ones, if probably not the most difficult holes on the course. Off the tee, we got to get through this gap, get into the second gap across this little grass patch you can see in front of us. From there, we need to bend off to the right, go downhill and keep bending right for another 100 feet, something like that. And then from there, we're back into another grassy area. You're going back up to the left with the basket being tucked on the right. But I'm going to try the ambush for my tee shot. Really just need to see how much hyzer I need to put this on. Not a ton, but I need to put this on a little bit of hyzer so it'll flip late in that gap. Nope, pulled it. That was the right shape. And I didn't hear it hit anything. So I could get all the way down there into that second fairway. I just really hope I didn't lose that disc because everything down there is going to be green. So that might be really difficult to find. As I was walking down the hill, I'm like, I'm just going to go ahead and go look out in the grass and just hope it's out here so that way I don't waste my time looking at all that crap over there trying to find a disc and turn out it's out here. And sure enough, here it is. I couldn't have asked for a better spot than this because being this far to the left of the fairway gives me like a turnover angle into the green. Or really, I could just throw something straight because anything near that bridge is like a very makeable putt. I just got to get the distance right more than anything else. I'm definitely going to go with the fairway driver. And I really don't think I can go with something too fast. So I'll probably throw, I'll go with my flippy Oasis Arc. The hardest part about this shot is going to be the daggum mosquitoes that have completely surrounded me at this point. But let's go ahead and get a birdie. Oh, it's not high enough. That's so close, though. Okay, that's like a edge of circle putt. Oh, dang it. Man. All right, I got to make this quick. These mosquitoes are going to tear me to shreds. And once we get down into the fairway on this hole, it's going to get so much worse. But this is 18, final hole of the video. Unfortunately, the T sign tree fell over. Oh, here it is. Par 5, 784 feet. Off the tee, we need to get down there to the yellow basket. From there, throw it far enough we can actually get to the corner, throw a straight shot down the fairway, have a pretty easy approach shot for par. But odds are we're going to be short of that corner, have to pitch around it. I'm going to go with the slingshot, like a little bit of a hyzer flip. I don't want it to get over on anhyzer and ride right that much. If it does a little bit, that's fine, but mainly just want this to go straight or finish off to the left side of the fairway. So high. Oh, it worked though. Oh, dang. All right, let's see. I need to get around the corner from here a little bit farther back than I've ever been. Trying to get around the corner, but I think I'll go with the Samson backhand. I think I can just throw it flat and it'll do the work for itself. That's good. Oh, well, either way, I think it's fine. Okay, this is a pretty unfortunate result, but I think I'm actually just far enough away from the tree where I won't hit it. Yeah, we should be fine. And if I've got the score correct in my head, I should be at 5 over, which is, like I said at the beginning, tied with my personal best and about all I can ask for. So, especially with all these damn mosquitoes trying to kill me. So, no reason to try and go for the green. If I did try and go for the green, like, you better put me in an insane asylum because it's insane. But I'm just going to try and put a putter to the bottom of the hill, and then it should give us a pretty manageable up and down. Should have gone with the stable covenant. Dang. I'm pretty surprised. The reason I threw that flippy covenant was because I thought I wasn't going to be able to commit to that shot, but I actually did. Oh gosh, oh, it's gonna suck over there. Okay, so I just ran there and pitched out. I didn't feel like y'all were very interested in watching me do a jump putt from in the woods, but I gotta throw this in for 6 over. Let's go ahead and do it. Come on, fade, off the tree. Okay, 7 over. All right, guys, that finishes up our practice round out here at Pipeline, and that went okay. I'm disappointed in that round because I do think I could have got at least a little bit closer to even par. Maybe shot closer to like 3 over or something like that pretty easily. It's frustrating because like the best part of my game was also kind of the worst part of my game, which that's what happens out here. Like my drives felt really good until they weren't, and like that's just how this course is. You have to be throwing well off the tee if you want to score or get pars on a lot of holes. And then a majority of the time you go so long without putting, you'll step up to like a 20, 25 footer that you normally make. And because it's been 30 minutes since you've last putted, you're basically cold. I think if I'm able to get another practice round in out here, that's really going to help me out a lot. Because like I said, it's just all going to depend on the tee shots. And that's should be the easiest part of the game because that's the one you get to practice the most. But aside from that, I need to remember to bring some bug spray for sure because that was awful. Like I normally attract bugs anyway. Like I'm always swarmed by mosquitoes wherever I go, but it's always 10 times worse here, especially on hole 18's fairway where it's just that little bowl and you've got the swamp right off the right side of the fairway. So it's just hundreds of mosquitoes will swarm you in there, which I have bug spray in the car. I just didn't have it in my bag. I'm gonna have to bring it with me on the course for sure. But if y'all have any recommendations for things I should try in the game plan, things I should change, please let me know down in the comments. So next week's gonna be Holston Blues, which should be interesting. Like I said, I do think the blues out here at Pipeline are harder than the ones at Holston. The main difference is there's so much more OB out at Holston, because I would say you have more birdie opportunities out at Holston, but you've also got holes where you can take some really big numbers, really blow up your round if you're not careful. So that practice round is going to be very, very important. Should have that out next Friday, so y'all stay tuned for that. But thank y'all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and y'all have a good one.